Kamala Harris, why is she in my DM? Huh? She stay in my DM. Oh, y'all be thinking I'm playing. I'm not playing. Kamala Harris. She in my DM, bitch.
What's up, everybody? We are going vertical today. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? How you feeling? How you living? Yes, we are going to get into politics this evening. I know it's really late. I'm probably going to private this one and then re-upload it again because there's some important points I want to make, and I want to make sure I break it down. Happy Friday, Nubian. What's up, Nubian? How you doing? What's up, Lexi? What's up, Ray? Nice to see you. What's up, Andrea? Shout out to Mel After Dark. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you as well, too. All right, and make sure you guys hit that like button. To hit that like button, you have to go up to the three dots, right? And then it'll drop down where you can hit the like button. And also subscribe to the channel. What's up, Maria? How you doing? What's up, Ronnie? How you doing? Good evening, Princess. Thank you for being here. Shout out to everybody coming in the room right now. I don't like the way it's reflecting off my glasses. All right, it'll just have to do. Actually, let me turn on the light because I look ashy without the light. Okay, there we go. What's up, Darius? How you doing? All right. So Kamala Harris has released her economic plan, or part of it, because technically the DNC is not until next week. For those of you who don't know, usually the candidates release their platform after their convention. And so hers is next week. So that's when she's going to release hers, her full platform. So today it was just the economic platform, or her economic plan, I should say. Overall, I have no issues with it. My thing is more, okay, well, how are you going to get this done? And shouldn't you have got this or told Biden, like, hey, why don't we try these things? Or maybe this was already in the works that he was going to do his next term, but he's not doing another term. What's up, Veronica? So, there's some questions that we have. You said red carpet. I rolled it out for you, Princess. But yeah, so I wanted to go ahead and go over a few things. And someone who had it like perfectly vertical where I could copy it was Pop Crave. Shout out to Pop Crave. So going over her policies, so eliminating medical debt for millions of Americans. Now, her and Joe Biden had already did something to the effect of like a certain amount you can't be over in debt for. I forgot what policy that was, but they have something like that. But Kamala wants to eliminate medical debt for millions more of people. I think it was like for elderly people. I think that's what it was. Don't quote me on that, but I'll definitely come back and update that information. The second point was banning grocery and food price gouging. And so she wants to put a gouging ban, a price gouging ban. Now, this one is very important. I just spent $60 at the grocery store, and it was just stuff to make nachos with. Literally. I just spent $60 at the store, and that was just stuff to make nachos with. Mind you, I already had the ground beef. Or ground turkey. Actually, it's ground turkey. But I spent $60. Did I get a few things that I didn't need to get? Yeah, I did. Shit. Why not? But at the same token, these grocery store prices are ridiculous. And what has not been effectively communicated, which Kamala was able to communicate this morning, or this evening, I should say, because y'all on the West Coast and stuff like that. Oh no, you're sloppy Joe Nacho. No, not sloppy Joe Nacho. No. But these companies are having record profit, you guys. Like they're not hiking up the prices. Yeah, there's inflation, right? We're not going to play like there isn't. But these companies are still having record profit. Like if you look at different companies like your Target, your Walmarts, they're still raking in a lot of money. Don't ever be fooled and think that these companies are struggling and they can't pay people. No, these big corporations, they have money and they're hiking up the prices to screw us, the consumers, over. Because inflation currently right now is at 2.9%. So it has came down. But the thing is, we're still feeling it because we're still going to the grocery store. We're still going to the gas pumps. We still going out and shopping, and we ain't seeing it for us. But again, if we're really going through inflation and everybody is hurting, wouldn't these companies also be suffering? Now, there's a few companies that have, laid off some people and stuff like that. And, usually layoffs is to, offset for the board members and stuff like that to make sure profit comes in. But it's all like, damn, well, we're not in. Remember when we were in a recession, right? What's up, Kiki? What's up, Desiree? Remember we were in a recession, everything went down. Well, we're not in a recession. We're going through inflation right now. So it's like the total opposite where the prices are going up, but the wages aren't climbing up. That's still a problem. Did y'all know minimum wage is still $7? $7.25, I believe. Let me get it right. Hold on. Now, luckily, I live in California and I live in the Bay Area, so it's a lot more, right? But the national minimum wage is $7.25. $7.25. Can y'all believe that? $7.25? When I first started working when I was 16 years old, the minimum wage in California was $6.75. So you're telling me that the national minimum wage is 50 cents more than what I was making in 2007? Are you serious? So you got these prices being increased and people are literally broke. They can't afford to go to the grocery store. And let's be honest, food stamps is only so much. Now, I know a few people get like 1,500 on the EBT, but that's not everybody. Usually, people get about 300 in food stamps. But hell, just like I said, I bought stuff for nachos. I already had the taco meat, and I spent $60 just at the store today. You have to watch the expiration dates on groceries as well. Yeah, definitely. I like Grocery Outlet, but you got to watch some of that stuff that you get at Grocery Outlet, They need to give food stamps to everyone. I definitely agree on that. Right, Roxy, how can people live off of that? This isn't 1960s. Exactly. That's the problem. And raising the minimum wage does not hurt the companies like you guys think. It's just about their bottom line and their dollars. Because why does nobody say, like, oh, well, because you can look at different companies and what they pay their execs and stuff like that. The salaries are usually public for a public company, right? If you realize these CEOs, VPs, they're still getting their bonus, while their workers probably get maybe like a 50-cent raise a year. Because if the business is hurting, why do they still get their bonuses and salaries and stuff like that? Nobody's cutting their shit. They're cutting for the average everyday worker. So it's just crazy how people, talk about, oh, the companies, they can't afford this, they can't afford that. Oh, they get a lot of tax breaks. Why do you think they have multiple accountants, multiple lawyers? They know what they're doing. So yeah, The price gouging that these companies are doing is real. And so I like what she said she's going to put a ban on it. Again, one of my questions is, well, shit, how you going to do it? You know, that's still my question. How are you going to do it? How are you going to make sure? Because again, just like I told you guys, it's fine if she gets in there, but if the House stays Republican and then the Senate flips and becomes Republican, she's going to have a hard time trying to get things passed. Same for my job. UPS swear they broke, but the ninjas in charge is exactly. And then that brings me to Trump, who wants to give tax cuts to the rich again. Okay, so we're giving tax cuts to these corporates, to these corporate people and stuff like that, because they're still under, and I'm not saying the ideology of Republicans is screwed up, but the whole trickle down economics part, yeah, that's definitely screwed up. Now, people will debate and tell you that when Reagan was president and started that whole trickle down, you know, you give the rich people a tax cut and then they give it to the little people and then they create more jobs. Have y'all ever met a rich person or somebody with some money? No, because they ain't giving you no money. They keeping their money. You know how rich people stay rich? They are very frugal. They don't waste money like that. They do not waste money like that. I promise you. When I was working at that Restoration Hardware, that luxury furniture place, I need a discount. You'd be like, well, there's no discount going on. No, I need one. Let me speak to your manager. I need my delivery fee waived. Oh, this didn't come on time. My bedroom set for my vacation home did not come on time. So I need 30% off. These people are cheap. They don't, that whole trickle down thing, it gives to the small people and then they're able to create more jobs because they got attacked. No, it doesn't work. Because at the end of the day, the middle class, and that's what I like about Kamala Harris' message, it's the middle class that is being affected and there's nothing for us. You know, most of us is in that middle group. Like, you either have to be dirt poor or hella rich. But the middle, there's nothing for us. We're literally looking like, well, damn, what is there anything for us? You know, that's what we're looking for. Yeah, that's why they have money, right, Lexi? I just got an email from the DNC with the breakdown of everything you are talking about. Oh, Princess, are you going? I know someone else who's going, but I didn't know if you were going too. All right, so we're going to move on from the next thing. So we got the price gouging ban, also capping prescription drugs. So we know that for seniors, the insulin has been capped off at $35. Well, what they're doing now is what Kamala wants to do is cap the prescription costs for across the board for everyone, not just for seniors, but for everyone on all prescription drugs. So that does help a lot. Because I have Blue Shield, right? There's some stuff on Blue Shield my insurance does not cover. And I'm all like, this is supposed to be private insurance that I have, and it doesn't cover it. And I'm all like, what? It was like some other kind of steroid drops that my medical insurance did not cover. I was all like, wow, that is crazy. I may get a chance to go. I'm waiting. Nonetheless, I am one of the official virtual creators for the DNC. Oh, that's dope. I hope you get it. I hope you're able to go. Definitely, if you go, you're going to have to come on the show and tell us how it was. All right. So the next thing is providing the $25,000 subsidy for first-time home buyers. So, as I understood when Kamala explained this is supposed to be like a tax credit, the $25K for first-time home buyers. There is a first-time home buyer like loan that you can get, but this is supposed to be a credit, a tax credit that you can have for first-time home buyers. I know I have not bought a home, so this is something that will help. Now, what I need her to do is erase all the negative shit off my credit. Now, if she could do that, erase all the stuff off my credit, that will help me tremendously because that's what I need. What's up, Mary D? That's what I need. If you can erase all that, that'll be perfect. But again, like I want to know how does the first time home buyers, the FHBA, how that loan works with the 25K, or is it one or the other? Bankruptcy, I know I can do bankruptcy. I just feel like I kind of waited too late. I should have did it in like my early 20s to do the bankruptcy. I feel like I waited too late. We have something like that locally. Okay, what state are you in, Maria, if you don't mind me saying? It's gonna be a lot. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot. And you know what, Lexi? I'm surprised that she didn't talk about the student loan debt. Because as I understand, that's still going, Maryland. Okay, thank you. As I understand the student loan debt, that's still something that's going on. Like, some people got their debt relief, but it's supposed to go in stages because you know how the Supreme Court, again, this is why I'm voting the way I'm voting, because the Supreme Court shut everything down. Because of the Supreme Court, they had to find a go around to try to relieve everybody's student loans. So as I understand, that's supposed to be continued. So I would like to know what her stance is on that, because it's all like, wait, are we gonna just forget about the student loan debt? Like, people still need that. Right, Veronica. Right. And again, the student loan debt, because I just heard somebody the other day talk about, yeah, and they need to fix what's going on with the Supreme Court. And it's all like, well, Trump is the one that got 3 judges in there during that time he was president. And this is why everything's getting shut down, like affirmative action, the student loan, so many different programs catered towards minorities. This is why you have to keep it. This is why it's important. And I think the reason why people say, I don't care about politics, I don't vote, I don't give a damn, is because they don't know how it affects them. This is why I titled the video the way I did. Has she released her plan for Black people yet? No. She has not released a specific plan for Black people. But my job, being Black, is to explain, well, how does her policies affect us overall? That's my job to do, how her policies affect, because a lot of people just say like, oh, well, I don't see Black in the title, or I don't see this is just for me. I don't know how it affects me. After Donald Trump, nothing else matters. And did Donald do anything for you? So she needs to be your savior, Jesus Christ, right? I'm not saying that she needs to be my savior. She's not God. I don't believe in your politicians should be like royalty or like a god. That's not what I'm saying at all. The apathy got us Trump. Right. Project 2025. Exactly. Don't believe it's not real. Everybody that's supporting Trump and around him, that Heritage Foundation or whatever, they're around him. That's real. Yes, Jackie. Am I saying it right, Jackie? Or is it Jacqua? Yes. Yes, Jackie or Jacqua. Can I call you, if it's Jackie, can I call you Jacqua? I like that. Right. Well, Batsy, I'm not disagreeing with you. I feel like both parties give us empty promises. You ain't lying about that. You ain't lying. But both would give us empty promises. Both of them do the same thing. I'm not saying one is better than the other. Okay, it's Jackie, but I can call you Jacqua? Okay, thank you, Jacqua. Okay. I like that, Jacqua. Okay, moving on. So this one I'm not against, but for the people with no kids, I just want to know what can we get? This one doesn't go into full detail, but for the first year of life, so basically any child under 1 you get 6,000. What they didn't include in here is that any child 1 through 6 or under 6 years old, they get 3,600. Then for your child 6 through 17, you get just the 3,000. So 3,000 for 6 through 17. It's 3,600 for children under 6, and then for the first year of life, that's the 6,000 credit. So you know that tax credit for having kids, that's what you have. So that's a part of her plan. So with y'all with the kids, shit, I need to find me. Let me re-download Plenty of Fish. Hold on, let me re-download it because I need to get somebody pregnant tonight. Don't judge me, judge your mama. Judge your mama, don't judge me. Labor and delivery fees are expensive. You need the credit. I agree. It's a credit. It may not. Yeah. So that is true. If you already owe, then you're not going to get that. So yeah, if you owe taxes like me, yeah, you ain't gonna get no tax credit. That's why I need multiple kids so I can pay all this Fed debt that I got. Shit, I might owe the state too, actually. Yeah. Damn, I ain't gonna get no refund. Okay, never mind. I don't need no kids because I still got. Don't judge me. Do not judge me. Yeah. And Maria, this is like the soft launch. This is just something just to give us a little taste. The last thing, it's not on here, but she wants to have build 3 million homes and housing and rental units. So 3 million homes and rental units to lower the cost of the prices of home, prices of rent. So I had to look this up because I was all like, I don't know like how this is going to work. But there's a few areas, like there was the Frisco, which is in San Francisco, and a few other places where they said when you build more homes, it do bring the cost down. And so it creates, more competition and stuff like that. And it does help with the cost down. I just don't know, like, where are the 3 million homes being built exactly? It's just kind of like, okay, 3 million homes. Okay, well, where are the homes going to be built? Like, how is that going to work? What if it's an area that doesn't have space for additional homes? Like, how does that work? But I mean, I'm not against it if it can bring the prices of home, prices of rent. One thing about that I did like that she talked about that wasn't in that little thing from Pop Crave was these stopping corporate investors. How many of y'all live in like the inner city? I know I do. I know Princess lives in Chicago. But how many of y'all live in the inner city? So everybody knows about gentrification, right? Oh, tiny home. I didn't think about that. Okay. See, she didn't elaborate on that. That's why you got to elaborate. But yeah, you understand gentrification, how all these people are coming into your city. They coming into the hood. They buy these homes, gentrify them. And then, you basically can't afford where you used to stay because now the property value don't went up. The taxes don't went up and you can't afford where you live anymore. Then you get these corporate investors, or not corporate investors, but just investors in general that are just buying up the homes. So then they can either sell them or rent it out to you and hike up the prices where you still can't afford it, The people who are buying homes in these areas, they're not like people like me and you, like actual people that are looking for homes. There's these big corporations and these different investors all plotting together and just buying up homes. Harlem and NYC, yeah, New York, yeah, all the boroughs. I struggle to say that word, boroughs. Yeah, These big investors, they're just buying up the homes, buying up the apartment buildings, and then they fix them up a little bit, and then sometimes they kick out the tenants that are already in these apartments so they can hike up the prices. That's happening a lot in San Francisco. So I imagine it is happening everywhere else too. They kicking out all the old tenants. They kicking them out, and all like, yeah, you got to get up out of here. We hiking up them prices, you know. And it's not like a me or you buying a home or buying, investment property. These are a whole bunch of investors that go in on a property and they're trying to flip it or whatnot. Florida too? Wow. Baltimore, yeah. So she wants to put an end to that because that's crazy. Y'all remember the story and you guys probably didn't know it was in Oakland, but remember there was like some black women in a home, right? And like they wouldn't leave the home, and like they're all like, you guys don't own this home. They're basically like squatters or whatever. Well, the reason why they were fighting was because, yeah, it was some corporation that bought that home, and they're like, we're not leaving because we know what you guys are going to do. You guys basically kick us out, and then you're going to fix it up, gentrify it, hike up the price on it, and we can't even afford to still live here. Yeah, Ray, you remember that? Yeah. Well, what a lot of people don't know is that those women were able to keep that home. That's what a lot of people don't know. They were able to keep that home, and they owned it. And so, yeah, it's a different time period, especially here where I live, because literally it's me, and I would consider, my household like the average everyday American, and then you might have some tech guy that moved from Kentucky or Idaho that works in tech, and you might be sitting right next to a tech, living right next to a tech CEO, where usually in your neighborhood, everybody is kind of like, the average everyday person. It's not somebody like a tech CEO living right next to you in the hood. That's very rare. But now, because of gentrification, it's something that happens, You're not living with people that grew up in your same neighborhood. These people are strangers. And then they look at you like, what you doing here? And it's like, well, hell, what you doing here? You looking at each other like, what y'all doing here? Gentrification is crazy. I've seen entire communities change in a 10-year period. Yeah. That's happening in the suburbs too. The homes next to me were sold and turned into rentals. Now it's revolving door of neighbors. Yeah, and it's just random people living because they literally buy it just to rent it out, and it's just random people in your neighborhood. Wells Fargo bought out thousands of homes in Florida in 2020 and still sitting on them empty. Wow. And we could fix the homeless problem if we wanted to. Exactly. Mitchell, you're right about that. Yeah. And Wells Fargo was one of those that were doing the predatory loans, like basically getting you into a loan, and then they would hike up the interest rate on the home. And then most people, when you hike up the interest rate, you can't afford it because, yeah, they were a part of the crisis with the banks and everything, with the housing market crashing, And if they don't stop these investors and these corporate investors from buying up, it's going to happen again. It is going to happen again where people can't afford it. So I feel like, her message was very important. It's just like, okay, well, how are you going to do it? And what's the full plan? But like I told you guys, it's going to happen after the DNC. And I think that was pretty much it, because it was just a soft line. So I got to everything basically that was talked about. Also, like I said with Trump, he's basically letting us know like it's the Democrats' fault why the prices are hiked up and we're going through inflation, and he can fix it and all this other stuff. So his plan, go ahead and cut the taxes for the rich and these corporate tax breaks. And then also he believes that putting tariffs on goods from China and all the other countries are going to help us. Excuse me. Putting tariffs, aka taxes on goods and on goods from other countries is just going to make the prices even higher. Because if they got to pay 20% more, how you think they're going to make up that extra 20%? Charge us more. So that's not going to work either. But again, he has not offered how or a solution. I honestly don't think he knows. He doesn't know. Not I don't think he knows. He does not know. He does not know how he's going to solve the issues, or he has like an actual plan. His plan is literally just vote for me and we'll figure it out. That's literally what it is. Vote for me and we'll figure it out. But there's not like an actual solution. Okay, well, how are we going to bring down the cost of housing? How are we going to lower the costs in general? Like, there was nothing. And I think when Kamala was speaking earlier at her press conference, I know, it was good that she was basically going back and forth like, well, I want to do this, but Trump said he's going to do this. Well, we're going to do this, but did you know what Trump said? He said this. So I will say with Kamala, the messaging is more on point and it's more palatable, where Joe Biden, he was stuttering, mumbling. We was all like, speak up, what you saying? We was very confused what he was saying. So now we got somebody very coherent in there and can actually relay the message. And I think another thing too, I think it's smart that Kamala has not done any press right now. Because why do press and have y'all try to manipulate and dissect everything she says? And let's be honest, the Democrats are always talked about for, being celebrities and trying to be well liked instead of talking to the people. I think Kamala did the right thing by going on tour with her VP, Tim Walz, and going to the swing states and going to different states and talking to the people. I think that was very effective. Where you got JD Vance, Trump's VP, everybody's looking at him like a weirdo. And they have been calling him weird. And he's very unlikable. They said he's polling like the worst of any VP candidate pick ever. He's horrible. Trump really didn't introduce him or really give him a fair leg to stand on, really. Right, all she has to do is let Trump keep talking. Yeah, let him keep talking. And I think also, too, another reason why she probably hasn't done a lot of interviews and stuff like that, because you guys got to remember, they're going to bring up, how do you feel about Joe Biden dropping out? How come you didn't tell Joe Biden to drop out earlier? A lot of it is going to be about Joe Biden and why, she didn't take over already, or what made her now all of a sudden want to step up to the plate. Was she hiding that Joe Biden was sick or ill, or he had, a decline in his memory? It's going to be about Joe Biden. So I think it was smart for her to wait. Just wait until after the DNC, which is next week. And I think we'll get more, information. And we'll get the answers that we need. They're still going to do the debate on they agreed to all three of them. The one on the 4th, the one on the 10th, and the one on the 25th. So, there will be multiple debates like everybody wants. Everyone wants to see how they're going to do on stage. Yeah, things will never go back to pre-pandemic. No. This is the new normal. The only thing they can do is improve. Because if Trump still won in 2020, we would still have inflation. I know a lot of people are like, oh, Trump had it so good and all this. Well, 2020, don't forget, everything was crashing. So don't forget about that. So a lot of people think like, oh, if Trump gets back in, it's going to be how it was before then and all this other stuff. No, that is long gone. Because you guys have to remember, this inflation thing is worldwide. Every country was hit. Every country. Every country was hit. It's not just the US. Everybody is feeling it. I think we just complain about it the most. We complain about it the most, but everybody was hit by the inflation. How about the fact that Democrats did not have an open primary? We were forced to have Kamala. It just so happens is working in our favor. Right. And and like I said, Ronnie, it was too late for all that. It was late to do. Oh, let's do an open convention. No. We gotta go with Kamala. That's it. Put Kamala up there, and then I'm surprised. Now I will say this: I'm surprised that Democrats got in line because Democrats usually don't do that. They don't get in line. Republicans, they get in line right. Trump can say the worst things ever, and they'll find an excuse to still love Trump. They don't give a damn about that. They want to get their stuff in, and then that's it. They don't care about the principles and all that. Like, I was very surprised that people was like, okay, we're going with Kamala. But y'all want to know what I heard? I heard that they're worried that Trump might actually win. And so with Kamala, they're like, oh yeah, we'll go ahead and let Kamala be the fall guy. So if she loses, it's all like, see, we should have had an open primary. So they're actually hoping that she loses, so then everybody, like the that's the tea that I heard. There's gossip in politics too. Yeah, they set her up basically, like, oh yeah, you go ahead, yeah, because they don't want to be the ones to lose to Trump. Mitchell, you didn't hear that? Oh shit, I guess I had the tea on that, but yeah, that's what the streets were saying. They're all like, oh yeah, let's go ahead and put her in there. Yeah, go ahead. Because they don't want to be the one to lose. Because imagine, if you're the one to lose to Trump, your career is over with. Where's Hillary Clinton? I don't know where Hillary is. She gone. If Kamala loses to Trump, oh, she over with. There's no, oh yeah, I can come back next year. No. They're going to be like, you couldn't even beat the crazy guy. Yeah. Yes, Mitchell, I do. See, here's the thing. I believe in the polling will tell you who's more favorable. I don't believe that the polling exactly tells you who's going to win. Because don't forget, the polling always said that Hillary Clinton was going to win. That's a little far, but y'all don't. Okay, y'all don't believe. Okay, all right. See, if somebody else got on here and said it, y'all would believe it. But because I said it, y'all don't believe it. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. The thought of him winning makes me physically ill. Yeah, like that's why I'm all like, don't get too comfortable, don't get too cocky. All like, oh yeah, he's gonna win. Don't. You cannot get complacent. You cannot. I thought Sarah Palin was bad, but Trump had truly outdone himself with his horrible choice. Yeah, a lot of it when John McCain picked Sarah Palin, it's kind of resembles that a little bit, but they didn't take the threat of Trump seriously, and Russia collusion. We can't get lax regardless of the polls. I believe that. You're so wrong. Okay, Anita, that's fine. I was shook in 2016. Yeah, it was kind of, I remember like when he won, it was kind of like, damn, really? Because especially me being in California, and like I did live in the Valley, and the Valley is more conservative and stuff like that. But you just truly thought like, oh, ain't no way, like that's gonna happen. Like nobody's taking him serious, right? Right? No, there's people who took him seriously. Don't underestimate people. Again, I've never been polled before, so I don't know who they're really polling to get this. To find out what's really going on. They're not going to accept the fact Trump lost. It's not going to go well. Yeah, excuse me. I see it getting ugly either way. I can tell you that. But I feel like if Trump loses, it's going to get really nasty. Yeah. If Trump wins, I need Jesus to come. Take me now, Jesus. What about the border? She has not released her plan for the border. Yeah, that's just her economic plan, or part of her economic plan. She has not released her plan for the border. Obama changed the amount of racism in the government. Trump lost the popular vote. The rich white guy, old boy network got Trump in. Agreed. Kamala has a fighter spirit. She's not letting him bully her. Yeah. And I like how she's also making it more on her terms. Than being bullied by not even by Trump. I'll say like the press, because the press has been really trying to bully her. Oh, like, why is she not doing sit down interviews? Why is she not talking to us and all this other? Because she doesn't need to. Because let's be honest, even though like Fox, MSNBC, and all those, they still work on the same accord. They want the catchy headlines. They want they want to cause chaos because chaos sells. Just like I'm in the celebrity gossip sector. That all the negative press, that sells. That's what people want. So the media has to keep you angry and stuff like that. So with that being said, shit, look the way they did Poe Joe. Yeah, Joe was sleepy and Joe needed a few naps. Or 200 million naps. Yeah, he was old, slow, and all that stuff. But the way they did Poe Joe, it just was all like, get your ass up out of there. Do I agree with the decision that Joe needed to drop out? Yes. Now with everything that has happened, I agree that he needed to drop out. However, I think they could have just did it a little better. They could have did it a lot better, actually. The way they done kicked Poe Joe out, it just like... Shit, I forget Joey's even still around, to tell you the truth. I'll be like, where's Joe? He was campaigning with Harris like a couple of days ago. He was, but, we kind of like, where's Joe? Like, where you go? Like, we forget. Sometimes I forget Joe is even there or even in the conversation. I knew he was going to win on 16. It was the yard signs and the flags everywhere. It was crazy. Oh, really? Polls or snapshots in time. That's true. We still got until November 5th. That's when voting starts. Not starts. That's when National Polling Day is, the 5th. And don't forget about early voting. Don't forget, in California, you get mail-in ballots. So you have enough time to look over your ballot and really see the propositions. Remember, I want to stress, local politics matter, you guys. Like, I know we talk about the overall presidential, but that's just to trick you guys and remind you that local politics matter. Your senators, your congressmen, city council, your mayors, you need to find out what's going on with those, because the local politics is what actually gets to you first before overall. And a lot of people don't realize that. And you vote every 2 years, not just 4 years for the president, every 2 years. But based on where you are, you might have an election every year, depending on what's going on. That's why you have to pay attention to what's going on with your local. I will always believe Joe didn't want to go, but he finally listened to Nancy. Yeah, I don't think he did. I honestly don't. I think once he got Coviana, once that Coviana hit him, yeah, it was all like, yeah, you got to sit this one out, I knew he was going to win because the number of militias went up 10 times after 2008. And when it was Hillary instead of Bernie, I knew Trump would win. Plus, he had been groomed for the spot by Heritage. Definitely can see that. Joe doesn't need to stress at this stage of his life. Glad he stepped down. He didn't want to go. Yeah, I definitely think he didn't want to go. I think he just had to, suck it up and be like, all right, y'all won. I'll get out of here. All right. So I want to talk about Palestine, this pro-Palestine movement. I honestly think that this pro-Palestine movement is very toxic, very anti-Black, and very unproductive. There's been a lot of this conversation about, well, we don't want Kamala because she believes in genocide and she's for genocide and she's trying to destroy um, Palestine. She's not really fighting for the people. Her husband is Jewish, and so she's going to side with Israel and all this other stuff. So, what's the other option that they want us? Like the Amanda Seals and all these other people on TikTok, what's the alternative? Because what they're telling us is, oh, vote third party. If you care about Palestine, vote third party. What the fuck is the third party going to do? What is the third party going to do? Because voting for the third party is going to get Trump in office. And I think these pro-Palestine people are trying to get Trump elected again. Because their thing is all like, oh, well, if Trump ends up winning, then maybe you guys will learn your lesson and not to support these candidates, blah, blah, blah. So what I decided to do was just put together like 3 little clips to actually tell you guys what Trump wants to do about Palestine, because I think you guys are believing that the latter is better, and I just want to clarify a few things. And trust me, there's more clips, but I just wanted to put this together real quick.
Who wants to keep going is Hamas. Actually, Israel is the one, and you should let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't want to do it. He's become like a Palestinian, but they don't like him because he's a very bad Palestinian. He's a weak one.
Ceasefire at some point, and what do you think about a 2-state solution in the end?
Well, I said they should get the job over with fast. They'll have to make their own solution, but they have to get this job over with fast and get it done because the world's blowing up around them. So they have to get the job done fast.
You might be open to the idea of weapons embargo against Israel. I wonder if you can comment on that, what that means, what it might mean.
I'd be against that.
And also on the
That Kamala is in favor of not giving Israel weapons?
yes, that's what
That's what I hear. Look, she's been very, very bad to Israel, and she's been very bad to Jewish people. And I say it, if anybody I know is Jewish and they would vote for Kamala over me, they should have their head examined. If you think about it, I gave them Golan Heights. I gave them the capital of Israel, Jerusalem. I even built the embassy. I gave them no Iran deal. The problem is they didn't do anything with it. Iran was broke. We could have made a deal so easily. I would have had a deal done within 1 week after the election with Iran. Iran can't have a nuclear weapon. It's very simple. We would have gotten along with Iran. I was looking forward to it. I was fine with Iran. You know, we hit them a couple of times pretty hard, but we would have been fine with Iran. But I terminated that deal. I got them the Abraham Accords. Everyone said that's impossible. I got them the Abraham Accords. She's been very, very bad to Israel, and she's been very bad and disrespectful to Jewish people. And any Jewish person that votes for Kamala and her friend, her new friend, who I don't know if she knew him before, but I don't think he's too good.
Finish the job. Get the job done. He's definitely saying, go ahead and do what you got to do. Get rid of all those people, and that's it. Nothing about the answer about the 2-state solution, or how do you create peace, or a ceasefire. Nothing about that. And so he's pandering all like, oh, she doesn't care about Jewish, even though her husband is Jewish. Thank you, somebody, for saying that. She doesn't care about Jewish people. And if you vote for her and you're Jewish, just something is wrong with you. What's up, Darion? like the mind games that he's playing. But essentially, he's saying, yeah, go ahead and handle that as far as like obliterating them and getting rid of the Palestinians. That's what he's saying. Mind you, just yesterday in the West Bank, there was some Israel settlers that literally fired rounds at this house and burned a car and killed somebody. Like, it's crazy what happens to the Palestinians over there. And a lot of people use that word Hamas, they're a terrorist group and they do bad things, and they talk about October 7th. And a lot of people don't realize that basically that's a whole rebellion group. Like, the Palestinians are not allowed to go places or move around. They have to get special permissions to go to doctors and get help. And, these people are literally living in modern day apartheid. Like in South Africa, when the white Afrikaans, as they call them, controlled everything. Yeah, that's how they're living in right now. And so a lot of people don't know that these people aren't free. It's not like, oh, this is one country against another. No, literally Israel controls everything. The Palestinians aren't free to just move around and stuff like that. No, they control everything. And on top of that, where the settlers are, it's not like, oh, they just settled there. No, they took over their property. They took over their land. Bitch, get your fucking ass out of here. This is my shit. And then had the nerve to build a border and a wall. You know that great wall that Trump wants to build? Build a border and a wall around them. And they're only allowed to live in these certain places. I watched a video where they arrested this 7-year-old girl because they said she did something. It didn't even make any sense what they were saying. She didn't steal or anything, but they said she did something. And they literally arrested this 7-year-old girl while this dad was like literally crying. And this isn't in Gaza where a lot of the stuff is happening. This is in the West Bank, over where Jerusalem is and stuff. Yeah, that's where this is. So a lot of people think about Gaza, the little strip. No. It's the West Bank too as well. These people are not treated well. So I get why people are angry. I get if you are a Palestinian, you're looking at this and I'm like, yo, help my people. They need help. However, with that token, we still have to worry about our politics over here in the States. So for us just to say, oh, screw it, because they haven't resolved the issue or done a ceasefire, we just say screw it to our politics. No, that's ignorant as hell. You don't do that. Because if you do that, then everything else is going to fall by the wayside. And then, like I said, Trump isn't all like, oh, yeah, let's go ahead and hold hands and let's do a ceasefire. No, he's not for that. He said, finish the job, get it done. Don't forget, Nikki Haley wrote on there, remember she wrote on that bomb? Finish them. Don't forget she said that. Finish them on the bomb. She wrote that. Yeah. They're not going to help the Palestinians. They don't care about them. Now, Biden did say one of his goals before he leaves the White House is to get that ceasefire done. I know as of today, they have been talking about a ceasefire again. Mind you, the whole ceasefire conversation, that happens all the time. They always do a ceasefire and then something sparks up again, right? It always happens. So if you hear the word ceasefire, I promise you, it happens all the time. Like they always do a ceasefire, a little piece, and then something sparks off and happens again. It happens all the time. But for now, they need to go ahead and get the hostages exchanged and just be done with this right now. Because we're not even realizing that they can't, like the people in Gaza, they can't even get like aid as like first aids and first aid kits and stuff that they need, food, water. They can't get any of that stuff in. Israel controls all of that. You know how there's people with limbs, children with limbs missing? They don't have any thing to sedate them, or any pain medication or morphine to help them. Imagine getting amputated and you have to feel it. This is what people are not realizing and why it's such a humanitarian crisis there. And back to the pro-Palestine people, I feel like they're very selfish because there's issues going on in Sudan, Congo, and it's all like, okay, well, should we just stop everything and just not vote? Like, what's your actual solution? Like, that's not a solution not to vote. And you got people, loudmouth people like Amanda Seals and other people saying like, oh yeah, don't vote for Kamala because she's pro-genocide and all this other stuff. And she's literally telling you that she wants to get a ceasefire. And then you got these people, and I've seen some of you guys talking about it. They want to whatchamacallit? Crash the DNC. That's not going to help either. Just like Joe Biden is still giving them weapons. No, they don't need no more weapons. They're fine. And again, that dome that they have, I forgot what the dome is called. It has a name. But the dome, basically, that means whenever they know some bombs are coming, they know to set off bombs to counter those. It's literally us and the UK that helped them fight back with all those other nations like Iran, Lebanon, Yet they didn't crash the RNC. That's why I'm all like, it very much seems like, some people are working against their own interests and they don't even realize it. But that's not the solution and that's not the answer. And again, and I'm not saying Palestine is not important. It's just not, you can't tell us like, oh, don't vote, don't do anything until they resolve the issue. No. That's not going to work. If they get anywhere close to the DNC, they're going to jail or hell here. Right? I can imagine. The only thing I can hope is that the ceasefire does happen sooner than later. That's the only thing you can hope for right now. But I felt like that was very important because it was moving into territory of like, oh, you support this if you support that. And it's all like, no, don't correlate the two. Like, I'm still a human being at the end of the day. I can feel bad. I can feel sorry for a certain situation, but that doesn't make me a bad person because I'm still choosing to vote and who I vote for. Hey, and I'll even tell you, if you want to vote your third party, go ahead and vote your third party. But don't try to convince us that this is the right way to do. First of all, again, like I said, if people want to build a third-party coalition, you need to do that before 86 days away from the election. That's something that should have been worked on way before October 7th. But if it really matter, the day after October 7th, that's when they should have been working on this third-party coalition that would end the war between Israel and Palestine. That's when they should have been working on it. But not 86 days away from the election trying to convince people not to vote and vote for a third party. It's ridiculous. I don't like it. And a lot of Black creators on TikTok have been attacked and basically looked at like, oh, so you're gonna vote for her just because she's black, but she supports genocide and this and that, and it's all like the correlation that people are trying to make is just ignorant. Please continue to. Oh yeah, I'll definitely post more clips. I'll definitely post more clips. I think that's very important now that you mentioned that, Nubian. Thank you for keeping us up to date on politics and the world events. You are amazing. I truly love your show. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I appreciate y'all for really like rocking with me and really like, you know, being here for these kind of conversations. Oh, and make sure you guys hit the like button and, you know, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Y'all support genocide. Ooh. That's fair. That's fair. None of those third-party candidates are even on all 50. Yeah, they're not. They're not. So how can you they even do the job if you can't even get themselves on the ballots? Right. And I'm not. And who's voting for RFK? No. Nobody's voting for RFK. I'm sorry. Nobody is. And thank you so much for the super chat, by the way. I forgot to say, I read your comment, but I forgot to say thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that, Kiki. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Jacqua or Jackie. It's scary that the Democratic Party was the party who started the KKK, and we still support them in droves. Well, big screen. There was the flip. There a lot. No, some people are, oh, there was no flip. There was no flip. No, there. You know the Dixiecrats. There's a party flip, definitely. Daughter of Eve, I disagree with that. Kamala, I wouldn't say she's pro-war, and Donald Trump is not pro-war, like, yeah, or anti-war. I don't think that, no. So you don't believe in the Southern strategy, big screen, basically. You don't believe that ever happened. You don't believe that. All right, okay, well. It's history, so I mean, it's not really a debate. I'm not gonna go back and forth with you on it. Like, yeah, look it up. Thank you, Clorinda. Yeah, I appreciate it. You know, I like having fun with the trolls. I'll be like, I don't think you know what you're talking about, but all right. If you say it didn't happen, that's on you. But you know, that's something that you can actually. That's not my opinion. I know the show is based on opinion, but those are that's factual. You know, I'm just saying. All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. You know I only give you an hour. I'm acting like I got to watch on. But I appreciate y'all for being here. Thank you so much. I always love having these conversations with you guys. I probably won't do any more politics like this weekend. We'll probably wait until the DNC and see what happens. I want to know who's talking, who's going to be there. Princess might be there, so we might have Princess be our commentator, you know, so it'll be cool. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. But we out. And thank you, Kiki, for the super chat. I appreciate that.
Kamala Harris, why is she in my DM? Huh? She stay in my DM. Oh, y'all be thinking I'm playing. I'm not playing. Kamala Harris. She in my DM, bitch.